So today, guys, I'm going to be talking about some future updates that I would want in Minecraft. Now, Minecraft is still updating, whether you like it or not. And here are some future updates that I would personally want in Minecraft. One is the end update. Now, we've all been asking for an end update. Everybody wants an end update. Everybody's been talking about when's the end update going to come out. And I agree with the community here. I really think an end update should come out soon. I mean, we need more biomes, more mobs, more loot in the end. Right now, it's just Endstone, Enderman, the Ender Dragon, and Chorus Fruit. That's it. No variety, no interesting things, just boring wastelands. Don't get me wrong, I think a desolate wasteland could be cool if done right, but in the end, it's just boring. There just isn't really much to see or do, and that really sucks. I'm not really sure if I want more desolate biomes in the end, if they added biomes to the end, or if I want more lush biomes. In the Nether update, we got two lush biomes, the Crimson and World Forest, and then we got two more desolate biomes, the Soul Sand Valley and the Salt Delta. I think that was a good balance between desolate and lush. It was a good balance between desolate wastelands and lush forests. And I honestly think that for an end update, that'd probably be the best thing to happen. Getting both lush forests and desolate wastelands. So that way the end can keep its identity, but we can also get lush biomes that are actually cool. The next update I would personally want is a refresh update. An update that refreshes old features. Now Minecraft does a lot of content. There's no denying that. There's a ton of content in Minecraft nowadays, and some of it has just been forgotten. A lot of the old content has just been forgotten. Take minecarts, for example. These suck. They're horrible. They move at 8 blocks per second, require a bunch of setup, and they just flat out suck. I think what would be good is if there was an acceleration meter where you can accelerate with minecarts. That way, minecarts can still move at 8 blocks per second by default, so redstone machines will work just like they did before, but you can move faster with minecarts. So if you want to move faster with minecarts, you can. But if you don't want to, then you don't have to. That's what they should do in minecarts. Also, some other useless features. I think horses could maybe use a rework, maybe make it so it can get a little faster, or maybe make it so like there's a little bit more benefits of breeding them, because you really can't breed that fast of a horse. In general, I think travel should just be fixed, make it so that like it's more worth getting other travel methods compared to Elytra. Like maybe maybe make it so that Elytra can't have mending, so then that could balance out other travel methods. Because right now Minecraft travel is unbalanced. Once again, Elytra just makes everything else obsolete. And some people might say that's fine, and I don't think it's the worst thing ever. It could be things could be worse, but personally, I just think that. Sorry, there was a pause there. I just think that there should be multiple good ways of traveling instead of there just being one objective best way to travel, like how it is now. And honestly, I Poisonous Potato should get a tiny rework as well. I'm not saying they should get a major rework. I think they should be mostly useless. But one use I think they should have is being compostable. They could fill up the composter by a super small amount. That way they still have one minor use, but they're still kind of useless. Yeah, and that's something I would want in the game. Another update I would want is another combat update. Is another combat update. Now, I think that Minecraft's combat is outdated. I'm just gonna say it. Minecraft's combat is outdated. It's outdated. We need a new combat system. Minecraft's combat really needs to be more advanced. Minecraft has changed a lot over the past 10 to 15 years. Obviously, 10 years ago, Minecraft it just wasn't the same as it is now. It's different. Things have evolved, and that's good. That's great. Things should evolve. But one thing in Minecraft that just really hasn't evolved is combat. Most mobs just kind of have basic AI, and they're just kind of boring. A lot of the new mobs, in my opinion, are just kind of boring. Take the Breeze, for example. it has the potential to be a really cool mob. It's got a pretty nice design, and it can shoot wind charges at you. It's got potential to be great. But the reason why it's not such a great mob right now is because its attacks are just boring and it's so weak. You could probably kill it with your hands super easily. And I feel like they should make it stronger and just make its attacks more interesting. I'm not just saying this for the breeze. I'm just saying some of the new mobs, in my opinion, are just kind of boring, to be honest. They kind of just hit you. They don't really have any sort of interesting attacks. I really think that some of Minecraft's mobs should have more interesting attacks. And honestly, I don't think just mobs should have interesting attacks. But I also think there should be more interesting weapons for the player. Instead of just being like, oh yeah, you always get a sword or an axe. No, it should be more interesting than that. I really think that there should be more choices. Some weapons should have special abilities, kind of like Terraria, where there's a lot of choices for weapons. You know, there's a lot of weapons with unique abilities, and no weapon is objectively the best, which I like. I like how you have choices. It's not like one weapon is just objectively better than everything else, which is how Minecraft is right now. I'm gonna be honest. Minecraft's combat, it worked perfectly in the old versions, like 10 years ago when the game was pretty simple. I think I think Minecraft's combat worked very well. I know that Minecraft's combat update did come out 10 years ago, but like pre-combat update and even when the combat update first came out like 10 years ago, the game was a lot simpler. And the old combat just worked. It worked. It worked pretty well. And and because the game was simple. The game was overall simple, so you kind of expected the combat to be simple. It just kind of made sense that the combat wouldn't be overly complicated. But now the game has a lot more content and it's evolved. And I think the combat must evolve with the rest of the game. Also, an idea that I had is add amethyst tools. Now you might think, why would we do that? Why would we add amethyst tools? Well, let me explain. I think a cool idea would be that amethyst swords and amethyst spears would do the same damage as wooden swords or wooden spears, but they would have a special ability, which would be to pierce through totems when dying. That way, they would do low damage, but they could pierce through totems when dying, which would make things way more balanced. So that way, you can't just farm totems to cheese through everything. Yeah, you can't. That way, you wouldn't be able to just cheese through everything. And I don't think this should just be a thing that the players can use. I think that the zombie horse jockeys and the zombie nautilus jockeys, those should also be able to have a chance of having amethyst spears. That way, even in the late game, there's threats. Things are threatening. I feel like Minecraft's late game is just very flawed. It's honestly the late game survival phase is just the worst thing about Minecraft, in my opinion. It's just the game becomes easy, and I feel like all there is to do is build stuff. Don't get me wrong, I think building can be very fun in Minecraft, but when that's all there is to do, it gets kind of old, to be honest. There's got to be more to do than building. There absolutely must be more to do than building, because Minecraft isn't just about building. Sure, that's a big part of the game, but there's other things too, like exploring, fighting. There just needs to be more to do. And on the topic of combat and like making mobs more interesting, I think the Ender Dragon fight should be more interesting. I know I didn't. I know that I just talked about an end update, and I really think that the Ender Dragon fight should just really be more interesting. It needs to be. The Ender Dragon should have more unique attacks. It should it should have more health, and it shouldn't just perch and just breathe its fire or whatever. When I was playing on my survival world with my brother, I was easily able to kill the Ender Dragon without destroying a single crystal. Literally, all I did was I got a diamond sword, I got a couple strength 2 potions, and I just crit the end. I just kept crit hitting the Ender Dragon. I was able to kill him after he perched like once or twice, maybe 3 times. The Ender Dragon is a joke to beat unless you're 7 years old and you suck at video games. And when I say you suck at video games, I mean like unless you're 7 years old and you like, really really suck at video games, then the Ender Dragon's easy. It's easy. It's really not hard. Even if you're new to Minecraft, it probably isn't going to be some crazy ass challenge for you. It's really not that hard of a challenge. It's really just not that hard. And that's some future updates that I want. Let me know what future updates you want. and this is a kind of a new channel, so I'd appreciate it if you liked and subscribed. Good.